This is my Medusa necklace. I'm gonna wear it for my.
Now, let me ask, and please don't harangue me for this. I'm just really curious. Did you put like a foundation on your face?
No.
Because your face appears a lot wider than before. Is it just the light?
It might be. Yeah, I didn't put any makeup on my face. I might want to put something underneath this laptop though, so it's not so low. Let's see.
Well, it's not a big thing to hold the mic, you know.
What?
Are you looking for a way to hold the mic?
No, I was gonna put something underneath the laptop so it wouldn't be so low.
Oh, okay. Well, that mic is
grab
a
the one
bit...
from my bag.
What'd you say?
That mic is a bit sensitive when you move it, so just be sure to mute when you're not talking.
Okay.
Fuck you, bro. Looking at me like I'm weird with my microphone.
I'm looking at you weird because you have, like, that necklace on. What are you, an Egyptian goddess? Ooh, please do that more. I'll stop complaining.
Isn't it so black though? It was in the black section at Walmart.
They have a black section? I guess they do.
They don't label it as a black section, but there is a very obvious like cutoff in the jewelry section where they go from like white people to super gaudy giant ass fucking necklaces and earrings. Like there's no doubt that who's buying those.
It is racist that they put this here. Ooh, I'll take this. So just remember with the microphone, like before where I could always hear everything you're saying, now I can't because it's not in front of your face. So like that exchange you had, I didn't hear any of it. So just remember, you do need to speak into the microphone.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that because, well, like you're a dumb blonde or anything. I forget that a lot. I sometimes...
Don't forget, you fucking idiot. Fuck you. Are y'all red?
I never did this.
Okay, good. I'll be right back. Okay.
Alrighty.
Did you just call it Milo? Oh shit. No, God.
Are you drunk?
No. I wish. I'm green again, but you can barely tell.
What's up?
So my hair's green again, but you can barely tell.
No, it's... There's a contrast from the rest of your hair, so you can tell it's green. It's just kind of like a seafoam green and not really a bright green.
Yeah. Sometimes.
All right.
I'm gonna share this shit.
So I'm going to have you read about the virtual reality groping.
What? Oh.
You know, one of the articles we have is a woman complains about being groped in virtual reality. And as serious as a problem that is, and I think it does need to be addressed, this woman's a moron. Like, basically, when it first starts happening, she starts laughing. It's like, oh, stop, stop. And then gets upset later. It's like, he didn't stop when I said to stop. And it's like, you were laughing. He probably thought at that point, oh, it's okay. She's laughing and saying stop. I'll just keep doing it and even chase her away, you know?
Yeah, that was my problem when I was younger. I didn't know how to say stop sternly, but I didn't blame that on anyone else. Because I remember this one guy came over and, you know, like, I put myself in the situation. We were on the bed, and then he just finds a hole in the crotch of my pants and just does what he wants. I was like, no, stop. But it was also kind of like, no, please. And so he didn't realize that it was fucking not what I wanted, I guess. He thought that I was like, you know, like, oh no.
Microphone, huh?
Oh, right. Sorry.
I heard all of that. It was just really muffled. So,
Yeah.
But, well, and that's the thing too, is that, you know, no doesn't always mean no.
See,
Oh, God, you made me laugh out a lung.
you couldn't do this. I can.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm so glad I said that to you. Not for the obvious reasons, but for this.
Yes. I should just start it out like this.
You should. No, go ahead and speak. Just keep your head up and start speaking. Let's see how it sounds.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just leave it like that. See if anyone notices.
Yes.
We won't even talk about it.
Like, what is that between her tits?
Why are you looking at her tits? Other than it's called dicks and boobs, or boobs and dicks. Why are you looking at her tits? All right, so we're going to get started soon. Actually, leaving it right there also, it doesn't have the problem of the sound of you moving it. So it's pretty nestled right there.
Yeah.
And it also gives you the hands-free approach.
Yes. I just looked down and I was like, I could definitely fit that in there.
Yeah, you have fantastic, perfect tits for this.
Right?
All right, you ready?
Yes. I just tweeted it.
You know, you're becoming more and more like NC Clark every day.
Really? Why?
Well, she always does the crazy voices, and she talks, you know, crazily, and you do the same. That I mean it as a compliment, because, like, I love NC Clark.
Yeah. She's funny.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Cancel. Gotta switch it off from you so that I get some FaceTime. Not that people are really here for me, but, you know, whatever. Hello, this is Mad Cat, and welcome to another edition of Boobs and Dicks Smash the Matriarchy. As always, I am Dix.
And I'm Boobs. Wasn't too late that time.
Almost. Yeah, you never want to hear a girl when she says she's late, so... So I got her this time. I know, like last time, she was like a no-show. We blame the internet for this. It's not her fault. But I have her now. So we have a great show for you today. The one thing that sucks, especially with the political climate and Black Lives Matter and feminists, like every single day there's a brand new thing happening. And, the one thing I hate about doing this show is that I always feel like I should be covering something else. And it's like every day there's something new, but it's like you got to make a decision and go with it. So there's a lot of different things happening right now, and this is what I chose to cover. But we're going to be talking about gaming today.
Woo! I just did my last video on tits and ass in games.
Yeah, when you going to upload that?
It's uploaded already. I haven't sent you a link yet, but yeah. Ass and tits in video games. There's lots of ass and tits. Or I think it's called Tits versus Ass.
Just so everyone knows, I don't actually stalk her in real life. I mean, we barely talk as it is.
Don't lie. You're in my window every single morning.
Oh, you saw that? You saw me with the binoculars?
Yeah, and I don't think you were wearing any pants.
Well, how else do I apply the lube?
Oh God, I've seen this.
What? This article? Okay, so there is a game about Gamergate and Tumblr coming. Project Social Justice. Or So Cuss, or Joe. I don't know how you say that. So Just?
I think it's So Just. Maybe.
So be afraid. Be very afraid. Anomalous Games, an independent video game developer, is currently developing video games centered around internet censorship, Gamergate, and Tumblr's social justice warriors. The game, aptly named Project Sojus, features character referencing 8chan, Reddit, and Tumblr. The year is 2014, 30 years after 1984. The world is now controlled by Sojus, a totalitarian regime that seeks to impose their vision of equality on society. Anything that opposes their vision is considered problematic. Problematic attitudes and behaviors are recorded. God, I'm trying to sound epic and I just fail. And policed by social justice enforcers, the social justice warriors, SJWs. When a person becomes too problematic, they are deemed anti-SJW and are expelled from society. You play the game as protagonist Vivian James, Gamergate's mascot, who battles social justice warriors in this Orwellian dystopia. Yeah, I bet you didn't see this one coming, unless you've already read this or know about this. So it really sounds like it's in favor of social justice warriors, but it's not. This is the person you play as. Vivian James has an arsenal of weapons to choose from, including one named Citation Needler.
That's great.
If you go to this page, you can see the video here. It's funny. In your quest to fight for free speech, you come across some very interesting characters, like Reddit Auto Moderator. Auto Moderator is a highly customizable moderation bot. It monitors new and edited submissions and comments and acts on them as needed. It's a little fat, if you ask me.
I want to play this.
You also come across what seems like a social justice warrior hive mind named Code Taco. I can't say that without laughing.
Code Taco? I just realized that.
Code Taco just published an article titled 5 Reasons Why We Need to Kill All Gamers. This, of course, is referencing Kotaku, the self-proclaimed gaming website that is actually less about video games and more about pushing a political correct rhetoric. I can't even read it for Code Taco. Oh god. Oh, okay. Let's continue on. Go Taco.
I love tacos.
Then there's the Twitter Ministry of Truth, known for censoring offensive speech on Twitter and banning users. The Ministry of Truth is responsible for permanently banning Milo Yiannopoulos from Twitter earlier this year.
I miss you, Milo.
So, I mean, that looks more like Wikipedia than it does Twitter, but okay. The game asks you to get ready to relive 1984 as you are introduced to hordes of Tumblr drones led by a fat, pink-haired woman. Listen and believe, their motto reads. Anyone remember that really old Mac commercial, like from like 1984? I mean, does anyone else see this? Because that's exactly what I'm thinking of when I see it. Don't worry, Vanessa, it was before your time.
Yeah.
You face some very fierce opponents, including Beta Male, White Knight, and Drone. Some White Knight, he's like fat as hell.
He needs a neck beard.
I don't think robots can have neck beards.
He needs, you know, it can be made out of like little bolts and stuff.
Well, no, see, neck beards are an insult for gamer gators, so the social justice warriors wouldn't have neck beards.
True.
And here's a few screenshots of the game.
I'll play this.
So do I. This takes me back to like the days of like Mega Man and Super Metroid. The trailer for the game should be up any day now. We'll be sure to alert you guys when it's uploaded and when the game is finally released.
Someone noticed the microphone.
What microphone?
No, there's no microphone here.
So, what are your thoughts about this, Vanessa?
I think it's gonna be freaking awesome if they do it right. Like if they make the story real good, I think it'll be pretty cool, and I will definitely play it. But I'm guessing it's coming out for the PC, probably. But if it was on a phone, I would play the shit out of that.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a PC release and a phone release.
That would be awesome.
Because these days, it's actually very easy to program for one and then do the other, so. How did this woman ever survive public school? What are you talking about? Are you talking about Modern Medusa?
Who?
Because she was badass in public school. I've seen the videos. Okay, she wasn't badass. She was just an ass. But, you know.
Yeah, who is he talking about?
I don't know. Ooh, warped reflection.
What up?
They need virtual pepper spray.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, I definitely look forward to this game. It's, you know, always great when they can make games like this, and these people are really creative. I mean, like the citation needler, and that's just right there. And then like Code Taco. I think I'm going to make this like my background screen for my desktop because I just can't stop laughing at that. That is the most brilliant name ever. And I'm kind of sad that I never made a company called Code Taco. I mean, wouldn't you buy games from Code Taco? Come on.
Yes.
All right, so our next story is a little bit on the older side. It's only a few months old, but I need to look back at this again. Code Taco. Okay, now I can deal with, God, I hate her.
Just look at the boobs.
I'm looking at your boobs.
Yes.
For a moment there, I thought you were telling me to look at her boobs. I'm like,
yeah,
no,
I thought for a second I was like, no, there's no attractive boobage there. I think she like purposely tries to hide her cleavage. So we can't even
Warped
sexualize her.
Reflection. The article we were talking about was about a social justice warrior game where you play as Vivian James, and you have to take down social justice warriors. And Code Taco. Oh, God, I'll never get tired of that. All right, Anita Sarkeesian. Anita Sarkeesian on Life After Gamergate. I want to be a human again. Well, I'm glad we agree that you're not human.
Yeah, I think she might be like a parasitic organism. So definitely not human.
Looks like some of our people are having a buffering issue right now.
That sucks.
Hopefully, it seems like anytime they want to take down the internet, it's when I want to do videos. What the fuck is wrong with this world? Why is it against me? The outspoken feminist vlogger discusses her new internet series, Ordinary Woman, Daring to Define History, the harassment of Leslie Jones, and more. So we won't read through all of this. It's a pretty long article, but, I have actually seen her first video of Ordinary Women. And while it's interesting to say the least about the woman that she portrays, $40,000 went into that one video. That's how much she made per video, is $40,000. And that is not $40,000 quality. That's more like maybe $2,000 or $3,000 quality, maybe. But $40,000, I think the internet world got gypped. I think the feminists got gypped. Serves them right. I want freedom, the right to self-expression, turn-of-the-century activist Emma Goldman once said when a man chided her for dancing. Everyone's right to beautiful, radiant things. Those words from a woman once dubbed one of the most dangerous figures in America, ringing even louder when spoken in a new web series by Feminist Frequency founder Anita Sarkeesian, the fearless vlogger who's shaken up the gaming industry, taken on Gamergate, and is now more determined than ever to unsettle the patriarchy.
Can I just say, she might have shaken up the gaming community online. She has not shaken up the gaming industry, okay? Because the same kind of games are coming out. They keep making the same kind of games, so obviously she has no fucking influence whatsoever. And obviously not unsettling the patriarchy, because there is none.
Well, I agree with you that she's not unsettling the patriarchy, because there is no patriarchy. I mean, if there was, it's doing a very bad job, which then would question if the patriarchy really exists anymore, if it did exist. But it doesn't exist, so we don't need to worry about it. But I will disagree with you that she shook up the gaming industry. I think she did, but not in the way she thinks she did. What ended up happening is a lot of people came together. I mean, we had feminists who hated Anita Sarkeesian and were part of Gamergate. Now, what happened with Gamergate was all not Brianna Wu, the other bitch. Oh, God, I can't remember. There's too many names to remember, but you all know who I'm talking about.
Which one are you talking about?
The one who basically started off Gamergate with her like
Zoe?
ex-boyfriend and all of that.
The Zoe girl?
Yeah, Zoe Quinn. Zoe
Yeah.
Quinn is what started it, but I think Anita Sarkeesian opened up the door to allow Zoe Quinn to happen. You know, all the pieces fell into the right places, but it's Anita Sarkeesian that was really what started this, where people are like, she has no idea what she's talking about. She's not really doing anything that can't be done by, you know, someone just with the camera, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So she did shake up the industry by getting people to bond together. So when Zoe Quinn happened, we were almost ready for it. Anita Sarkeesian was like the thing you, like the vaccine you put in your body, which is like another form of the virus, but it's like lame and doesn't, it's not going to actually affect you, but your body gets used to it. So when the actual disease comes, we can fight it. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I agree.
Plenty of her critics still see Sarkeesian as a danger. Not really. She's not a danger. She's not really relevant anymore. She's desperately trying to be relevant.
Yeah.
They're mostly men, like the ones that still harass her online, or alt-right internet supervillain Milo Yiannopoulos. You know, I think if he saw you say that, he would, like, you know, kiss you on the lips. I think he would love being called the internet supervillain. Who secede? I don't know that word. His followers on her in articles and tweets long before he got booted from Twitter for doing the same to Ghostbuster star Leslie Jones. No, Milo really didn't have anything to do with Anita Sarkeesian. I mean, sure, he might have, you know, posted a few articles here and there, but Milo really wasn't relevant when Anita Sarkeesian came onto the scene. It wasn't until Gamergate really happened when Milo Yiannopoulos became a common name within the movement. So don't, like, I mean, yeah, we can, like, have a good laugh about Leslie Jones, but Anita Sarkeesian and Milo Yiannopoulos never happened. Stop trying to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at some comments here.
I have a really funny article that I found in a magazine, like a People magazine, I think it was, of just has a big picture of Leslie Jones and a little picture of Milo, like, smoking a cigarette, and it talks about, like, the harassment that she went through, and it's just too fucking funny.
You saw this in a magazine, you said?
Yeah, in a magazine, like a regular fucking, like Us Weekly or something like that.
Yeah, you should do another magazine show.
Yeah, I have actually, like, multiple pictures of articles that I found. Like, there's one with Amber Rose talking about being a sexy mommy, and I'm just like, oh, you fucking cunt.
Mostly they see her as a danger to gaming, and they're right. The sanctity of the status quo in gaming has rarely been challenged so brazenly as it has been by the Canadian-born firebrand in her YouTube videos, in her writing, and at public events. No, because, you know, it's like Modern Medusa says, the same games are being made. You know, there was the whole controversy with, what was it, Overwatch? Where they're like, oh, that character is way too sexist. It's like, okay, we'll replace it with an even more sexist character.
Yes. You know, I think that it shows that, I mean, even if though it's an independent gaming company, the fact that people can make those games like Project Socius and whatever, like, that shows that nothing has limited free speech since she started, and that's really what she's trying to do, is limit free speech.
There's a YouTuber that has a taco in their name.
I'm sure there are many.
Dicks out for Milo.
Yes. I don't have a dick, but if I did, actually, you know what? I could put my dildo in my pants and dick. So I'm gonna do that. Yep.
I'm sorry, you said something about dildo and pants, and I just like got lost in thought. All right, so let's go ahead and skip past this. We don't need to know about tropes versus women. I've had several game developers come up to me and say, "You criticize my game. You're totally right, and I will never do that again." That just happened to me 2 days ago. It happens regularly. And that's when I go, "Oh, this was all worth it." Said no one ever. No one came up to you and was like, "Oh, you changed me forever. I'm never going to do that." Because it's still happening. These games are still being made. Plus, you misrepresented every game you reviewed to try to find the sexism, the homophobia, everything you could. You actually edited out videos that you didn't make, that you stole, just to show the narrative you were trying to get. Mm-hmm. If anything, these people came up to you and it's like, "You criticized my game and you completely missed the point."
Right?
Yeah, good job on trying to be human again, you lying shill. They're still very old school in terms of thinking of who their demographic is, in the same way that Hollywood is, because the risk is higher. If your multi-million-dollar game tanks, your studio might close. So they don't understand that opening up their audience, doing things new and fresh, can benefit them in the long term. No, that's not how it works. First off, women have statistically been shown not to be the target audience for a lot of these games that are released. Men are,
especially the ones
they
complain
buy them.
about.
They make money. That's how it works. And I'm sure that, Anita will be like, "Well, there was the study that proved that women are just as much gamers as men." Well, yeah, if you include Facebook games as gaming. I mean, that's what we call casual gamers. But you can't put casual gamers on the same wavelength as hardcore gamers. It's two different schools of thought here. And it's men who are primarily hardcore gamers. Yes, there are women hardcore gamers, but guess what? They want to play the same game. I mean, hell, yeah. I've known female gamers that will say the most sexist things possible. And it's like, oh my God, it's so great to have a girl who says these things. Like, "Oh yeah, I'd rape that bitch." I heard a girl gamer say that once.
One time, I was my ex-boyfriend was playing Call of Duty, and this girl that looked like she got like attacked by zombies, and he was like, "Damn, what happened to her?" And I was like, "She got raped." And then everything got really quiet, and he was like, and I was like, not literally. And he was like, "Oh, okay, like I you kind of creep me out there." So sometimes even I'm worse than like the gamers, because he plays violent video games all the time, and he was like, "Holy shit."
So yeah, Anita still like has no idea what she's talking about. She's learned nothing, and I'm not surprised, but she's making this claim that she wants to be human again, and yet she's still trying to do everything she can to piss people off, which just goes to show that this is all about staying relevant. That's all what this is about. In the same summer, we had Ghostbusters, we had Suicide Squad. It's the same thing in games. One step forward, two steps back. Some publishers care a whole lot, and others super don't. Super don't? Wow, where'd you learn to speak? Oh, wait, you're from Canada. That makes sense.
Wait, why does she say she'd never want to see Suicide Squad? Because Harley Quinn is sexy?
Probably.
And she loves Ghostbusters because they're all frumpy and fat, right?
Yeah, probably.
Good job, Anita. That's not. I'm pretty sure that Anita is the one who's super sexist because she really hates attractive women. She really hates butts and boobs and like everything about womanhood. I think that she just hates women.
That's a pretty good argument. I mean, girls are naturally like obsessive about other women, and it's like, oh, I don't like her because she's more beautiful than me.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, I guess that means that Anita
no offense.
Sarkeesian automatically hates you, Vanessa, because you are far more beautiful than Anita Sarkeesian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she is not attractive. She looks like that little, no offense, forgive the reference, the little Jew picture rubbing the hands, because obviously someone already made a picture of her doing that. Like, you've seen it, right?
I think so.
Yeah, like a version of her with the rubbing with the giant nose. Like, that's what she reminds me of. And it's just like, you're like, I wouldn't fuck her, even if she had a nice body, which I'm guessing she doesn't, and I'm guessing she doesn't shave. So, fuck that.
You know what? I bet she does. I bet she's the exact opposite of everything she hates. I mean, she's the one who sits there and says, oh, women are forced to put on makeup and wear jewelry. And she does the exact same thing. She wears makeup and wears jewelry.
Yep.
She's
and
like
obviously that's
go ahead.
That's just her internalized misogyny trying to please the patriarchy.
Well, she's one of those aliens in Mars Attacks that's carrying around the translator that's like, don't run, we're your friends. And they're killing everything in their warpath.
Oh my god, yes.
So, blah, blah, blah. Felt like we were doing a master thesis for every episode. Not only that, when looking at games, you have to capture games. I might need a 10-second clip and have to play a whole game for 9 hours to get it. And if you screw up, your clip is ruined because you can't go back in certain games. It was just utter madness. So is that when you decided to steal other people's content?
Yeah, right. She tried it once, and that was it. And then she just gave up.
Oh, I can't play this. This game sucks.
This is hard.
You didn't get past the opening screen. It's hard. Let's just steal the videos. People have already done the work.
I can't get a girl to do this sexual thing exactly how I want to. I better find someone else who did it better.
And it's a master thesis for every episode. Fucking shit. That was such sloppy work you did.
Right.
Okay, skipping through. Let's see if... The reality is... Oh, wait. Hold on. Part of the impetus for ordinary women, Altman says... Oh, wait, this is someone else. We don't need to concern her. Well, let's find more things Anita Sarkeesian talks about. Sarkeesian's crusade to enact change within the culture at large mirrors the personal hell she survived during the worst of Gamergate, a period of extreme harassment. She took a large toll on her than she wanted to admit when she found herself targeted alongside female gaming figures like Zoe Quinn and Brianna Wu. We don't think the internet is real, she shook her head. We still don't. And when it comes to harassment, we all internalize this message. This sticks and stones kind of thing, which I think is bullshit. Because it is trauma and we are being traumatized. It's hard to believe that things that people say online can hurt us and affect us that much or impact our daily lives, but they do.
Maybe you.
Well, you don't think the internet is real, so obviously you're delusional. And you're being traumatized by words. You know, it doesn't happen every day for me, but I do get called bad things every now and then. And yeah, you know, sometimes it hurts. I'll admit that. But then, you know what? I move on.
Yeah.
And I get better. You know, it's called alcohol or cigarettes or soda, you know, whatever. Weed.
But okay. Like when I first started like looking into stuff about anti-feminism and shit, basically, you know, all I would do is look on the internet, look on Facebook, and look at articles that other people would post, and you know, I'd be like, I'd comment my own stuff, and then sometimes if people commented and were like really just stupid or mean, like it wouldn't offend me, but I would like have an emotional reaction, you know, because I have anxiety. I would feel a little bit anxious. But once I, you know, myself to that more, I realized that those comments are just, you know, really, really petty. They don't contribute anything. So it's like I don't have such a big reaction. And that's the thing that a lot of women need to realize is that, you know, if you get your feelings hurt, that's okay. You can continue to get your feelings hurt. It's not that bad. Like, really, it's not that bad. If you feel like you're going to kill yourself over a comment on the internet, then, I mean, don't go on the internet.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you can't handle
Go to therapy.
harmful comments, then don't put yourself in the position to hear them. And Anita Sarkeesian basically went to the UN and said, well, people say that our content is bad and we want you to make a law against people being able to say that. Although I do like what Tony here says, danger, danger, Anita Sarkeesian in the Macintosh the robot. That's awesome.
That's funny. Don't cut your hair off.
And yeah, there's a slight conversation going on about, you know, the money that was given to Sarkeesian could have helped anyone else in the world. Hell,
right?
1/10 of what she's made could have helped me out a lot.
If I got even a quarter of as much money as she did, at least half of it would be going to fucking like men's rights research and support and stuff, whatever. And then I'd be also making fantastic videos and not having to work and shit. Like, why her? You know, like, why little girls stop listening? Women, I don't understand.
But as Warped here says, good to see you. But seeing as feminism exists, it should be doing what it claims and helping those women instead of raking in money for privileged Western women.
Exactly.
I like
That's
how she
what I'm
writes
saying.
women.
Like she could have not made all those videos and just donated all of that to women in need, and she would have solved a lot more problems than she did making the fucking videos.
If she put a Band-Aid on a boo-boo of a girl in a third world country, she would have done a lot more good than she did.
Fuck that bitch.
Okay, so any more fun things? Do the police even know what Twitter is? Sarkeesian remembered a conversation she had with San Francisco officer who half-jokingly insisted he heard of Twitter. He said, yeah, we all know what Twitter is because we have to take delegates to visit Twitter when they come to town. What about all the people who never talk to the police for any reason ever? I guess there's some sort of context to that one.
Have you seen the new South Park episode where police are actually like going around and being like, do you know why this kid quit Twitter? Shit like that. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. I don't really watch South Park. I catch the occasional episode. I'm way behind on South Park.
It's like Cartman, or all the kids gang up on Cartman and smash all his electronics because he's being an asshole on Twitter, or they think he's being a troll on Twitter, but it's actually like, I think it's Kyle's dad, and then it's like he was Twitter. The cops come up and they're like, we're trying to figure out if it was a Twitter suicide or a Twitter homicide. Because usually people don't just leave Twitter, they leave long paragraphs about why they're leaving Twitter before they leave Twitter. I gotta go get my charger. Be right back.
Yeah, I think there's an audio delay because people are referring back to the beginning of this article. That's weird. So here's more to what this actual article is about. If I run into someone on the street, I have to deal with that all the time. If I run into someone on the street or in the grocery store, I go to all the time, and someone recognizes me, I awkwardly go, "Thanks so much, but please don't tell anyone I come here." And I know it's a weird thing to say. One thing that harassment does is it takes away your ability to fully feel. You're in survival mode. And I'm still very vigilant, and I'm still very cautious of my surroundings and what I do online. But I want to be human again. You want to be human again and you want to be online? Then stop attacking other people. You're getting what you deserve because you went on the warpath. You started attacking all other people. Anyone who disagreed with you had to be a misogynist, had to be sexist. You had to go and make money, and you had to be dishonest to everyone. Look, I'm not, proud of the fact that you might be getting death threat emails, which I don't think you actually are. But even if you are, I don't like that. I don't think that's necessary. But you know what? You're entirely responsible for this. If you go up to someone and say, well, you're a male video gamer, so that means you're a rapist, then you better believe they're going to react to that. And you have yourself to blame, because guess what? If you don't go and tell people they're a rapist, they can't get mad at you. And don't give me that bullshit of, well, they should know not to do that, even though I should know not to do that. You're not above people, and if you're going to treat people like shit, then people are going to treat you like shit, and you're not immune to that. You should have known that. Your mother should have taught you that, to treat people how you want to be treated. And if you don't know that, well, here's a lesson in that. You dumb fucked up, bitch. If you have to be cautious in your surrounding, if you're in survival mode, that's your own fault. Most people who are paranoid and afraid because of some traumatic thing that happened to them, I would feel empathy for them, but I feel no empathy for Anita Sarkeesian. If you don't feel human, it's your own fault. You went on the attack, you took people's money, and you gave bullshit research. And you're only relevant because you're constantly in the news pissing people off.
Yep.
Vanessa does mute herself because she has a new microphone, and it can be a little bit sensitive, so especially between her tits.
All right.
All right, so she actually mentions Band-Aids.
Long fucking article.
I didn't know that. I didn't read all the way through.
Sorry.
So yeah, this is like a long bullshit article, but that one point really stems that, she hates that she has to be, hyper aware of her surroundings and that she has to hide in anonymity, which is kind of funny because she accused people of doing exactly that, and now that's what she's doing. It's your own fault, Anita. This is one of the few times where I'll actually say to someone, it's your own fault. It's 100% your fault for the situation.
Victim blaming.
So you have any final thoughts of this before we move on?
Anita needs to
Shut the fuck up. I talked about it a lot in my last video about Anita. I was like, you can try to change things, but it's not gonna happen. It's gonna, everything. There's gonna continue to be sexual things in video games, no matter what, because humans are sexual and humans like sexual things, and that's not a bad thing.
And Tony says it well. Anita is a has-been. Actually, I disagree with you there, Tony. She was a never was.
True. She
Anita
tried.
used her sexuality, in all honesty. That's what she did. She used her sexuality. She used the fact that she was a woman. She used I want to talk about how women are oppressed. She has no substance behind her. There's nothing behind all of that. So she could easily fool people into doing it because she's a woman who wants to talk about video games and puts on an oppressive display. But that's all she is.
She hates butts and she cannot lie. That's funny.
Other sisters can't deny. All right, let's move on to our next article.
You get triggered. One sec.
Vanessa's going to read this one for us. Let me zoom it up real big. That should be good. Oh my God.
Miss Jaylee is joining us.
Woot!
Yes, more boobs. Double the tits.
Double the tits, double the risk.
More tits is never wrong.
Right? Titties and kitties. Can't go wrong with that. All right.
There's 4 tits and 3 pussies.
Yes. All right.
All right. So let me get to the article here.
OMG. My first virtual reality groping.
Last week, I was groped in virtual reality. Did you know that could happen? I didn't. All the wiser. I'm sure you are. While visiting my brother-in-law last weekend, we decided to check out his HTC Vive of a virtual reality system. My husband and I stood in his home in Redwood City on an idyllic 80-degree day, the 3 of us taking turns on the Vive. Turning around 360 degrees, I reveled in the snowy...
You skipped a paragraph.
It was my turn next. I glanced one time around the room before strapping on the massive headset and into a world more beautiful than I could have imagined. Turning around 360 degrees, I reveled in the snowy medieval forest of a game called Quiver?
I guess.
Why they gotta make things so confusing? Where you play an archer shooting down the Walking Dead. Okay. After some instruction, I found my groove with the gameplay. My bow and arrow strung at an arrow fly, and it punctured a demon right through the skull. Nailed it. Skull. I don't know why I just said school. Okay. Never had I experienced virtual reality that felt so real. I was smitten. I never wanted to leave this world. I feel like this is going to take a bad turn. Reality of my experience, my brother-in-law directed me to the top of the highest tower in the game. Now walk off the ledge, he suggested. Might as well try. I inched closer and closer to the edge, looking out on a very convincing 100-foot drop. My fear of heights started kicking in strong. Closing my eyes, I took a step off the ledge and nothing happened. I didn't fall, and I was walking on air. I was a god. Virtual reality had won me over, lock, stock, and barrel. This sounds like someone who's never played a fucking video game before. Or so I thought. A few minutes later, I started a new Quiver game and hit multiplayer mode. Oh god. In multiplayer mode, other real-time players appear beside you. Every player looks nearly identical with a floating helmet, a persistent bow in one hand, and another free-floating hand. Keep that free-floating hand in the back of your mind. So I was shooting down zombies along another real-time player named Big Bro 442. The other players could hear me when I spoke. My voice, the indication of my femaleness. Otherwise, my avatar looked identical to them. In between a big wave of zombies and demons to shoot down, I was hanging out next to Big Bro 442, waiting for our next attack. Suddenly, Big Bro 442's disembodied helmet faced me dead on. It approached my body and he started to virtually rub my chest. Stop, I cried. I must have laughed from the embarrassment and the ridiculousness of the situation. Women, after all, are supposed to be cool and take any form of sexual harassment with a laugh. But I told him to stop. That is a lie. Okay. First of all, that's not sexual harassment because it's not real. But in real life sexual harassment, if a woman actually gets their body touched by someone they don't want, they're not gonna fucking laugh. They're gonna hit them. There's so many women. If you even dared to fucking hit on them, they'd punch you in the face. That is such bullshit. I'm one of the cool kids. I laugh at jokes that men make. Men have never tried to touch me. If they do try to touch me, I leave. And if someone makes a joke about me, I laugh because it's funny. And if someone fucking came up to me in a virtual reality game and started trying to grab my non-existent virtual tit on a male character, I would laugh my fucking ass off. I'd be like, what are you doing right now? I would probably grab his tits too, or grab his ass. I'd be like, haha, got you, bro. But that's just fucking retarded. That's just fucking stupid.
What?
In between a big wave of zombies and demons to shoot down, I was hanging out next to Big Bro 442, waiting for our next attack. Suddenly, Big Bro 442's disembodied helmet faced me dead on. It approached my body and he started to virtually rub my chest. Stop, I cried. I must have laughed from the embarrassment and the ridiculousness of the situation. Women, after all, are supposed to be cool and take any form of sexual harassment with a laugh. But I told him to stop. That is a lie. That is a fucking lie. Okay. First of all, that's not sexual harassment because it's not real. But in real life sexual harassment, if a woman actually gets their body touched by someone they don't want, they're not gonna fucking laugh. They're gonna hit them. There's so many women. If you even dared to fucking hit on them, they'd punch you in the face. That is such bullshit. I'm one of the cool kids. I laugh at jokes that men make. Men have never tried to touch me. If they do try to touch me, I leave. And if someone makes a joke about me, I laugh because it's funny. And if someone fucking came up to me in a virtual reality game and started trying to grab my non-existent virtual tit on a male character, I would laugh my fucking ass off. I'd be like, what are you doing right now? I would probably grab his tits too, or grab his ass. I'd be like, haha, got you, bro. But that's just fucking retarded. That's just fucking stupid.
Well, I once tried to grab your tits that one time, but that was in my dream.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's pretty much virtual reality because it's just like video. But yeah. So you didn't actually get to do it in your dream? That's just
No, because
out
you're a
of your
bitch.
mind.
You're a bitch, and you imprint that into my subconscious mind.
Damn. Just cold hard bitchness. All right. This goaded him on, and even when I turned away from him, he chased me around, making grabbing and pinching motions near my chest. Obviously, he was doing that because he thought it was annoying you. He even shoved his hand toward my virtual crotch and began rubbing. If she would have reacted the way that he like didn't expect her to, he probably would have stopped. But obviously, if a guy comes up to you in a video game and starts pretending to grope you or whatever, like I'm pretty sure people do that in all kinds of multiplayer games. Honestly, like they teabag each other on the face. They go up and like pretend to like twerk next to people. I just spit all over my fucking laptop. You know what I mean? But like even in Minecraft, me and my friends would pretend that we were trying to fuck each other. So like this sounds like her not being able to handle it because she could literally just keep playing the game and ignore him or block him or whatever. I don't know how it works, but anyways. There I was, being virtually groped in a snowy fortress with my brother-in-law and husband watching. Oh my god. As it progressed, my joking comments toward Big Bro 442 turned angrier and were peppered with frustrated obscenities. At first, my brother-in-law and husband laughed along with me. All they could see was the flat computer screen version of the groping. So they could see it and they were laughing. Obviously, they didn't think there was a problem. Outside the total immersion of the Quiver world, this must have looked pretty funny and definitely not real. Maybe because it's not real, bitch. What do you mean? Remember that little digression I told you about how the 100-foot drop looked so convincing? Yeah, guess what? The virtual groping feels just as real. This has to be a troll. Oh my god. Of course you're not being physically touched. Just like you're not actually 100 feet off the ground, but it's still scary as hell.
Okay.
My boobs, my virtual boobs.
Okay, first off, they're like a floating head with hands. I mean, she doesn't have a virtual body, first and foremost. And secondly, it feels just as real. I mean, if you were in a full VR suit to where like if like someone punches you, you could actually feel it on your body, even if it didn't hurt, and someone groping you, you could feel some rubbing on your tits, maybe I could understand where you say that it feels just as real. But you're wearing a headset and some gloves. That's it. So someone's literally wonka wonka on you. If you feel it, that's in your head, and you're the one with the issue.
Cat, what the fuck are you doing right now? I think the kitten is possessed.
It was me.
All right. Okay. My high from earlier plummeted. I went from the god who couldn't fall off a ledge to a powerless woman being chased by an avatar named Big Bro 442. This doesn't sound like women are victims at all. I wasn't as experienced as a player as Big Bro 442. Everywhere I ran, he appeared beside me, ready to grope as soon as the zombie wave was over. I'd had enough. With a final parting obscenity, I yanked the headset off my face and stood back in the sunny, familiar room of my brother-in-law's home. Why did you wait that long if it bothered you that much? What had just happened? I hadn't lasted 3 minutes in multiplayer without getting virtually groped. Maybe because you sounded like a bitch. what's worse is that it felt real. Violating. If you seeing, okay, if when you watch a movie or play a video game that's not in front of you and you're like getting touched and stuff, does that feel real to you? Because that is the exact same thing as air being like it's literally you just seeing things that aren't there. It's basically as if a ghost were touching you, and you like, I'm just trying to process this right now.
I mean, if it felt so real, why'd you continue playing the game?
Exactly.
I mean, and this is the thing that this is kind of crossing a line here, kind of going into a new territory, but it's like something with like affirmative consent that women are afraid to say no. Okay, well, if you don't say no, why is it the man's fault for what happened? You know, if he didn't know that you didn't want it, you know, why didn't you try to escape the situation? Why didn't you try to say, no, I don't want to do this? You can't hold someone responsible for something you didn't do. But in this situation, you had the ability to leave, to go away, to take it off. You were in complete control of the situation. Yes, someone's chasing you around and you don't want them to. Fine. There are jerks everywhere. But you could have removed it.
Right? Like, okay. First of all, relating this to actual like sexual assault is disgusting, and she sounds like a baby. Like, not even a child, a baby. She sounds like a baby. Like something, basically acting like nothing is something. And I don't know if she's been touched before. She probably hasn't. If she is that scared of virtual people pretending to do pretend stuff, it's all pretend. Like, that's like saying, oh, we're playing house and I'm pretending that my husband just fucking raped me. You actually just raped me in real life. Like, that's retarded. Secondly, I forgot what I was gonna say, but fuck. What were you talking about?
I was talking about, like, you can escape the situation. You could have escaped, take your helmet off. And there's the talk that men should automatically know what a woman is thinking, so that if she is engaging with him in sex but really doesn't want it and doesn't say no, it's still rape.
Yeah, right. Like, I remember this when I was playing Call of Duty once, like multiplayer. This is actually pretty funny because the person did not know that I was a girl. But this guy was being such a dick. I went over, I think, to like sit in this little building to try and like look for some players that I had to shoot or whatever. And this guy just starts like talking to me, like I can hear him, and he's like, "Get away from me, faggot!" And I just laughed, and he was like, "Oh, what are you laughing at?" And I'm like, "Are you talking to me?" And he's just like, "Yeah, get the fuck away from me." And I'm just like, "Okay." And he wouldn't shut up for about 10 minutes before other players started coming in and being like, "Dude, leave her the fuck alone," because like, I was like, "Dude, I'm a girl. What are you fucking talking about?" And he's like, "Well, then you're a fucking retarded girl." And everybody came in and they were like, "Dude, shut the fuck up. Leave her alone." And then he was like, "Oh, fine. If you won't mute me, then I'll mute you." And then he left. And that was it. And that's literally like the worst thing that could happen to you on a fucking virtual reality thing, is people trying to harass you verbally or pretending to do things to you. It all pretend.
I mean, a fag, that's just weak. Obviously, you're a lesbian.
Yeah, I'm a faggian.
And your lover was just sitting right next to you. Your lesbian lover.
Exactly.
All right, let's continue on.
Okay. Yeah, this sounds ludicrous to anyone who hasn't stood on that virtual reality ledge and looked down. But if you have, you might start to understand. No, I have seen virtual reality shit. Complain about someone pretending to touch me. The public virtual reality chasing and groping happened a full week ago, and I'm still thinking about it. You need therapy. And tell them about these things, because it's not normal to think about something pretend that happened for an entire week and still feel traumatized by it. Not literally traumatized, but they feel like they are, apparently. Now that the shock has mostly worn off, like, she's acting like she was in a fucking car crash with. I'm faced instead with the residual questions about the unbridled misogyny that spawns from gaming anonymity. It's easy to dismiss the most egregious offenses as the base actions of a few teenage boys, but I don't think it's rare as a few bad apples. Really? Because other player trying to grope you too? It's not just a few bad apples. Plus, I don't think that guy was even like bisexual. He was just like, ha, 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 ha. This I'm fucking with this girl until she leaves. Like, literally, that's probably the reason why most girls leave, is because guys fuck with them. They're probably not a real gamer, and then they're like, oh, you're right, and then they just leave, and then they're fucking done, and then they complain about it.
It's been my experience that it's usually the exact opposite. Once someone finds out that a player is a girl, you'd be amazed how, you probably know this, but it's like so many guys will start like, oh, here's free stuff. Oh, need some money?
There's like,
here's some money.
The opposite. It's much more rare for the thing I talked about to happen, but yeah, that what you were saying, that happens a lot more. Yeah. Like I said, all of the guys in the chat or whatever that were with me ganged up on that guy and made him, like, excluded him.
Yeah, but you don't ever. Guys are a lot worse to each other. Now, yeah. I mean, when I was guild leader of a guild, I really tried to push people. It's like, hey, there's a new guy, go help him out. He needs some help. But when there was a new girl there, everyone was like falling over themselves trying to help her out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whenever feminists talk about this whole misogyny in video games and how women feel alienated, I've known some girls who will go into video games and not use voice chat because they don't want people to know that they are female, because they don't want them to baby them. They want them to treat them like everyone else and not give them free shit just because they're a woman.
Mm-hmm. All right. How could it be when my brother-in-law has played multiplayer mode 100 times without incident, but my female voice elicited lewd behavior within minutes? I'm sure you've at least had one or two not savory experiences on it.
Yeah, he's probably been teabagged a few times.
Right? And it's not because, I mean, if you're female, like, what were you saying during the game? What would you be talking about even in that kind of game that would attract that kind of thing? I don't know, but I feel like she's just blaming it on things that don't. As VR becomes increasingly real, how do we decide what crosses the line from an annoyance to an actual assault? Maybe if you're actually assaulted, Bert. We're going to need rules. Yes, titties. To tame the wild, wild west of VR multiplayer. Or is this going to be yet another space that women do not venture into? No, women do. They just don't complain about it like you. women are allowed, sure, but the big bro 442s of the world will make you sure you never want to come back. Because then you'll get virtually molested. It literally sounds like a baby.
It's pretty fucking insulting, honestly.
Exactly.
Because people have been abused, and it doesn't feel like, oh my god, somebody virtually touched me. That actually fucking. Do
you know how disturbing it is to be touched by someone when you do not want it? It is fucking awful. It is fucking terrible. Unless your brother-in-law came up behind you and started grabbing your tits while that guy was doing that, it's not fucking assault. And if it was, it would be on your brother-in-law. Fuck.
Now read the next little part after that.
Oh no. Jordan Bellemere is the author of an upcoming novel, Swaying Magnolia. An adult. What's FF? Female?
Female.
I guess you can say.
This story was originally posted on Medium or published with permission. Swaying Magnolia. Is that a reference to vaginas? I bet there's going to be abuse in the book. 'Cause that's pretty common.
Well, I don't think she's a lesbian because she did say that she was there with her husband.
Yeah.
But, you know, we can really get a lot about her that she's writing a adult FF romance.
Yeah.
That, you know, if a man just walked up to her and waved, she'd like, I feel so raped. He molested me with his thoughts.
But what if a girl did that to her in virtual reality? What if a girl came up to her and started touching her tits and trying to grab her vagina and and like being like, "Oh yeah, baby, like come on, I want to sway your magnolia."
Oh, that was awful.
Would she be as triggered?
Here's the kicker: is why is she assuming his gender?
Right.
Just because he sounds like a man doesn't mean
it could be a woman.
Yeah. Or it could be a transgender, or it could be a non-binary.
Right. That was really transphobic and ableist of you, Jordan Bellemere. I need my potatoes and weed.
Unfortunately, something's going on with the video, so people aren't able to see it, and I think that's just YouTube. So
everyone has been saying that like the video and the thing aren't syncing up and all this shit. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Well, that's always been a problem, and the reason why that happens is it's the back and forth between you and me, where the video doesn't properly link up with the audio. So that's actually a common problem. But this, it seems like it's buffering for people nonstop. So, yeah. Now, we do have an issue that as virtual reality becomes more accessible and more realistic, that there is going to be, like, you know, sexual stuff happening, that someone could come up to you and start groping you. Mm-hmm. My big problem here with this woman is like, fine, okay, she had a traumatic experience. She didn't like it. You know, it's bullshit, yeah. Don't get me wrong. But she feels that this was traumatic to her. It triggered her. First off, she didn't just quit the game when he kept being annoying. But also, she laughed when it was first happening. Yep. She's like, oh, stop, don't do that. You encouraged it. Mm-hmm. You may not have wanted it, but when you laugh and say stop, that tells people, oh, you want them to keep going.
Basically.
Now, if you said, look, dude, that's not cool, please stop doing that, and he continued to do it, you might have an argument. A very flimsy one, but you might have an argument. But once again, you could just leave. Or here's a novel idea. Turn off multiplayer mode and just play the game by yourself. You
Yeah,
had a lot of control in this situation.
Right? Like, why did she even go into the multiplayer if she didn't want interaction with other people?
Well, I don't think she did not want interaction with people. It's just that when this happened, she felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, that's normal. I mean, for women, you know, I mean, personally, I would just be annoyed if it continued for a really long time. But I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be angry or like anxious or anything. Like this girl needs, like, she has problems within herself before she needs to go and do virtual reality. Like, she needs to solve those problems first.
Yeah. You know, let's start her on an easy game like Pac-Man and see how well she can handle that. Although I'm sure she'll feel violated like someone was groping her tits as Pac-Man eats the ghosts.
Yeah, go ahead. Wait. You should wait until I can take a shower with you.
Wait, what's this now?
Me and Jaylee are going to take a shower together after this.